I'm back here at Chez Josephine Restaurant on Theater Row with our show about shows, play-by-play. And I'm joined by my friend and colleague from New York One on Stage, Frank DiLella, and we're going to do a scorecard on how the fall season is progressing. Who's winning? Who's losing? Who's winning, Frank?
Who's winning? Well, Patrick, I think the latest news is that Glen Ross is offering up $350 tickets for the best seats in the house. And I think with Al Pacino on the marquee, that's a pretty good win for me.
That's winning, especially for a show about people that are down on their luck.
Right.
How is Grace doing, which opened a little earlier with another star, Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd also stars Ed Asner, Michael Shannon, and Kate Arrington. It's not doing bad at the box office. It is a limited run. It only goes through the beginning of January. But I was looking at the numbers this past week, and it's not doing too bad. Again, it's a small show. It's a relatively small show, 4 cast members. It's not doing terrible at the box office.
Another show that is open at the now has just received rave reviews across the board is a show without stars, although it features 2 great performances by Tracy Letts and Amy Morton from Chicago's Steppenwolf Theater. How do you think that's going to fare?
It's interesting. Well, it was just extended. It's Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. It is the 50th anniversary of the production, Edward Albee's classic play done by Steppenwolf. Charles Isherwood of the New York Times did say it's the first must-see show of the new season. I saw it. It's excellent. I believe you saw it as well.
Yeah, terrific.
It's worth revisiting. We had just seen a revival on Broadway in 2007, I believe, with Kathleen Turner and Bill Irwin. Is it too soon for the show? We shall see. I think the box office will prove that, but it's something definitely worth seeing.
There's another show off Broadway, obviously, with Jake Gyllenhaal, an import from London.
Right.
We can't check grosses on that. How do you get a sense of how a show is doing when you can't check grosses, weekly grosses, like you can on Broadway shows?
Well, you can't check the grosses, but I did go on the website, the ticket website for that production, and the show is pretty much sold out. There are only a few days with a few tickets in the house. You can select your seats, and I clicked on a few of the dates, and only a few seats are left for that production. It's selling very well. It's a small house, but the show it's a hot ticket.
If you don't want to get caught up in a crunch of paying $350 a ticket, now's probably the time to think about buying tickets for the hot shows that are coming up. What do you recommend in terms of the hot shows that are coming up? What should somebody go to the box office or telecharge and buy something right now so they don't have to face premium seats 2 months from now? Well,
you know what? The Book of Mormon is still one of the hottest shows in town. You still cannot get a ticket to that. I get asked all the time, Frank, how do you get tickets for the Book of Mormon? Go to the box office, just say, I want to buy your first available date, and go from there. That's a show that, as we both know, is going for $500, $600. In terms of new shows in this season, Matilda is an import that's coming over from London. It broke the record with the number of Olivier's. It won last year, and that's supposed to be a big hot show. So I would say to those who are watching this show, play-by-play, get tickets for Matilda soon.
Do you think that The Heiress with Jessica Chastain is going to turn into a hot ticket?
I would say half and half. It depends on the reviews. I think that's going to be a show that we'll have to see, after the reviews come out. Jessica Chastain, of course, being Oscar nominee for The Help. She's an up-and-coming star in terms of her, her cachet, if you will. But we'll see what happens.
There's 2 stars that are coming up that haven't been around in a while. One is Deborah Winger, who's co-starring with Patti LuPone. In
a 2-person play.
In a 2-person show, David Mamet's
play,
The Anarchist. And then Henry Winkler, who hasn't been around in years, is coming in a play called The Performers.
A sex comedy, The Performers.
It's going to be a test on their box office draw, right? But I don't think that anyone means that it necessarily sells out. Jane Fonda came back in a play, 33 Variations. I was shocked that she didn't sell as strongly. And I think Deborah Winger is probably in the same category.
Absolutely. Although, you have diehard David Mamet fans who, flock to his work all the time. And this is a new play by, this incredible, accomplished playwright. So we'll see, how that does. Again, I think it's going to depend on the reviews, word of mouth. Word of mouth, we were just talking about this off camera. Word of mouth is very strong in terms of how successful a show does. Do the reviews count? Do the reviews count? Do people read reviews, Patrick? That's the question I have for you.
Well, Frank, I'll try to answer that in the next edition of Play-by-Play, because that's it for this edition. Meanwhile, you can read Play-by-Play at artinfo.com, and you can also see previous episodes. Thank you for joining us.